obsession with backtesting was what caused me to not make money and not be consistent.
Right, I wanted to go through something called the backtesting loop of death. This is something that someone else may have created, but I'm coining it. It's something I went through, and I think a lot of traders go through this. And I think it might be one of the main reasons, especially nowadays, why people can't find any consistency. How it starts off, I'm going to talk about this purely from my own experience, as this has happened to me many times. Probably did this throughout the first 2 or 3 years, just consistently, didn't realize that I was doing it, and then you just continue to do it, and it can happen over quite a long time span. Basically what happens is you think, okay, I need to backtest a new strategy for whatever reason. It could be your first strategy, it could be the last one wasn't working. You backtest a load of data. In my case, I'd backtest 2 or 3 years worth of data on TradingView. I would have these big Excel sheets full of information, and I would have this strategy. And from the backtesting, you work out the expectancy, the win rate, everything is profitable, right? So you come in with a bit of confidence. So you've just backtested this strategy. You've got this profitable strategy in theory. You've got this edge in theory. And you think, okay, well, perfect. If I just trade this how I've done it on backtesting, I'll be consistently profitable. I'll make money. Should work, right? What happens is you take that strategy and you start trading it live. And usually it works for a bit. You manage to stick to it for a bit. In my case, it would usually be about a month, like a few weeks to a month where it's going fine. And then you have that one day or that 1 week where you just blow out. You don't follow it according to the strategy. You start kind of, recording all the mistakes you're making, so on and so on. You get to a point where you've decided, okay, enough's enough. This isn't working. If you're doing a funded challenge, maybe you've blown a challenge, maybe it was going well for a bit and then it's just gone all the way and you've hit the max loss. You get to a point where you decide, I can't keep doing this. I need to make some adjustments. Sometimes you just get rid of the whole strategy. In my case, I would make adjustments. I'll tweak it. Now, tweaking your strategy and making adjustments can work and it can be good. I think most people, including myself, would do this too quickly, do this too soon. I hadn't had enough kind of sample size or data to actually start making adjustments. I was basically doing it off emotions because I'd lost. So what would happen is I would take the strategy I was using, I would start backtesting again, but with a slight adjustment in something that I thought would help the strategy, help me perform live better. So I'd do a whole new load of backtesting, more data, more backtesting, and then I would go back to trading live. And what I would find is the exact same thing happened as before. It would work for a bit and then it would stop working. And then I got really frustrated, like, okay, this strategy doesn't work. I need to go back to the drawing board and backtest a new strategy. And then you get to the start of the loop again and it just continues and continues and continues. And I think the reason this happens is because you're not trading your strategy live for long enough without touching it, without changing it. And I don't know if this is a problem a lot of people have, but I remember I would just have a few bad weeks and just start tweaking stuff, start making changes. This doesn't work, that market doesn't work, this stop size is too big, too small, I should be entering here, not here. Everything you can think of, I would start coming up with that as a reason as to make an adjustment or a tweak to the strategy. And that is basically just shooting yourself in the foot because you end up having a strategy that maybe originally was profitable, maybe you were trading it not too bad and you just went through a bad period and now you've made so many tweaks, you've got a new strategy, you're back at square one and the cycle just continues. And the easy solution to this is to just carry on trading when you're having a bad period. But then becomes the problem of, okay, you have a bad period, but you've hit your max daily loss. For example, you're trading a prop firm, things are going well, then you have a bad period, you lose, I don't know, in my worst times, I've lost 13 trades in a row. Now, when I backtested that strategy, there was no space for me to lose 13 trades in a row. It was almost like impossible. So then you've got to think, okay, if I'm consistently losing this much, there's a problem not just in me changing stuff and not giving it long enough. There's probably a problem with the actual way that I interpret the strategy when it comes live, when the setup presents itself live. I'm not seeing it in the same way that I was seeing it when I was backtesting it. The way that I've countered that, and you'll see on the YouTube, my results have significantly improved from where else I've documented. I've been pretty consistent recently. You have up and down periods, but I'd say at the moment it's been going pretty well. And that was purely from simplifying the strategy down to where it's almost impossible to mess up the strategy due to discretion. Because I had people bang on about mechanical entry and mechanical strategies, and I think they got a point. Obviously, you can't be completely mechanical, otherwise you just program a robot to execute for you. And we all know how that goes. The EAs, they perform for a bit and then they just taper off and they stop working. So really the edge is in yourself to be able to trade it live, turn up every day, do the same thing. You want to make that as simple as possible, in my opinion. For me, it was literally just a case of trying to remove all discretion I can, because you're no doubt going to have days where you turn up to the market and your brain's just not there. You've got fog, you can't see what you backtested properly, or you just had a shitty day. Everything else is grinded you down, and you try and trade, and your head's not there. You're not locked in, and people have their own kind of like rituals and routines to get themselves in the zone. That's great, but you're going to have days where that doesn't work, or you're going to have days where you forget to do it. Opening up, and if your strategy is so reliant on you being in the zone, and don't get me wrong, I still need to be locked in. I still need to be in the zone when I'm trading my strategy, but I've simplified it to the point where it's very black and white, and I think making the strategy as black and white as possible is better, especially when you're starting out, especially when you're just trying to find some consistency, because just finding a few months worth of consistency can make all the difference of you making it in this game or not, because you can't really believe in yourself or have any confidence in your ability to trade if you haven't got any proof that you can do it. And even just a couple months of consistency, even if you fall off the cliff after that, you know you can do it. Especially, if you, let's say you pass a prop firm account and you get a payout, and you haven't just gambled it, you haven't done really high risk, you've actually consistently, one step at a time got your way there. You'll have confidence in yourself that, I can do this. I know what I need to do. I've done it before. I just need to work. However, for me, in my case, I passed my Forex funds account and I got a couple payouts. And then I basically fell back into this backtesting cycle, and I fucked myself over and I lost the account. In fact, I didn't lose the account. My Forex funds shut down. But I probably would have lost the account the way I was trading, and that was purely falling back into this cycle, and just almost not trusting what I'm doing. It sounds really cliche, but people say trust in your trading plan. It's true, but you also need to have a trading plan that makes it really hard to deviate from it. I found it really hard to trust my plan. I had these great backtesting results that would say this win rate, this expectancy, and I was like, yeah, this is the money maker. But then you look at your live trading stats and your equity graph, and it's just awful. And you're like, why are they so different? Why is one working so well in theory, and the other, when I put it into practice, I can't trade it? And that's I think that's where the edge comes in. That's where your edge comes in as a trader, is to be able to turn up, do the same thing, not care about the outcome, and just be in the process, and just breathe the process, and just trust the outcome will play out, but just turn up every day and allow it to. And everyone preaches this. People in the space bang on about this all the time. Not many people, from what I've seen on YouTube, have actually walked the walk and done it and shown it. They'll give out the advice because it's generic advice, of course, but yeah, that is something that you do need to trust in it. but sometimes it helps seeing the kind of death cycle. Some people call it the boom and bust cycle. I think it's basically the same thing, but I've just used backtesting as one of the things that causes you to be in that cycle. If anything, this is just one of the many boom and bust cycles in trading. For me, it was the backtesting cycle of death, basically. You hear so much good stuff about backtesting, but the obsession with backtesting was what caused me to not make money and not be consistent. So yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to give out a bit of advice, really, just from my own experience. You might watch this and think, "Shut up, Aiden. What the fuck are you on about? Backtesting's great." And no, I'm not saying don't backtest. I'm just saying careful with it, because you can become obsessed with it. You can become one of these backtesting nerds and just have all the stats, but not be able to trade it. And it's like, unless you're going to become an analyst for someone else to trade, you don't want to be that obsessed with it. So yeah, that's what I was going to say. Hopefully this helped you. Hopefully you've maybe realized something. You've maybe looked at yourself and thought, that's exactly what I'm doing. If that is you, don't worry. You can break the cycle. I've done it. I've been in the cycle multiple times. I've got out of it. Many people get stuck in it. You just have to really sit back, maybe take some time off the markets and just look at what you're doing, reassess, and when you decide to go back in and start trading live, you need to just make it as easy as possible to stick to it exactly, make it black and white, and then just keep turning up, set, 3 months before you make any changes, before you do anything. And if you blow the money, if you blow the account after 3 months, fine, but you've turned up every day for that amount of time doing the same thing, and that's the discipline you've got to kind of install yourself with. But yeah, hopefully this helped. Drop me a comment, let me know if you have felt the same, or if you've been in the same. If you've spotted anything else that you think people struggle with or get caught in, let me know in the comments, and yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video.